Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at the Hydroliner playset from the Disney Pixar Incredibles 2 Junior Supers line. You can see this logo up here, Junior Supers. This is a line that Jakks Pacific does. Very similar to Imaginext, Play School, something like that, but obviously with the Incredibles 2 characters. Everything I've reviewed so far I've been really happy with. And I saw this giant boat at Toys R Us. I got 30% off because they're going out of business, unfortunately, but great deal. Decided to grab it. Looks really, really cool. Looks like a lot of fun. You can see you get like a little smaller craft. You get a specific exclusive version of Elastigirl. And you get some other launching accessories and things. And it boasts some features over here. Shoots projectiles, fold out ice slide, watercraft launcher, grabbing arm. I don't know what that's about. But yes, very cool packaging. Kind of open packaging, which is what we're used to for Imaginext, Play School, things like that. Taking a look at the back here, shows that obviously works with some of the other figures that are available. They are sold separately. Only the one figure does come with the set. But you have the grabbing arm, the projectile, the ice slide, the watercraft launcher, rolling action, it says over here. It says includes one Hydroliner, one Elastigirl, one watercraft, one lifesaver, and two projectiles. So the lifesaver is like a inner tube type of thing. And then on the bottom here, it shows some of the other things that are available. I've already reviewed these two. I decided to pass on the Elasticycle. I'm just not that wild about it. And it comes with an Elastigirl I already have from the 2-packs. But these vehicles are both very, very cool. Unfortunately, it's the same Mr. Incredible from the 2-packs. Really wish that was his blue and black suit that came with the car, because it would match, it would look great. But anyway, that's it, neither here nor there. So that's it for the packaging here. Let's go ahead, let's get this out of the packaging so we can take a closer look. So this guy is quite massive. It's going to be hard to have them all on screen at the same time, so I'm just going to kind of show you level by level. So let's start down here at the bottom, and we can take a look at some of these accessories first. So here we have the new version of Elastigirl. Now, she's very similar to the old version, and I have the, well, I shouldn't say old version. This is the version from the 2-packs that I believe comes with Dash. So you can see that her eyes are a different color, and it kind of looks like she's being hypnotized or something like that. And then her legs are becoming translucent. I don't know if she's becoming invisible or turning into water. I don't know what's going on there. I'm assuming once the movie happens, we will, have that explained. But that is the difference in Elastigirl. And then just for fun, here is the kind of specialty costume Elastigirl. So I'm guessing Elastigirl is really a main character. I mean, obviously she's one of the family members, but it looks like there's going to be a lot of focus on her this movie if we're getting 3 different versions of her. So I'm going to put those off to the side. But that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a nice little variant. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, cool, she's phasing, she's becoming invisible. Then I was like, wait a minute, her powers aren't becoming invisible, that's the daughter. But still a very cool figure nonetheless. So putting that off to the side, we get a life preserver, which is a little bit hollow on the back, but that's going to come into play later on, and we'll see why that is. I guess technically you could go ahead and put this around the waist of some of these skinnier characters so that they would be kind of bobbing in the ocean. Obviously, it's not going to work with someone like Mr. Incredible, but some of these thinner characters, it should work just fine. You have 2 projectiles, which again will come into play a little bit later on. And then we have the tiny, I forget what they officially call this. Let me look at the packaging again. They officially call this a watercraft. So watercraft launcher, it says. It's just kind of like a little, kind of like a Sea-Doo or a jet ski, whatever you'd like to call it. You can take the figure, and she fits very easily in. Let's see if I can get her to fit a little better. Yeah, she kind of likes to drift off to the side. Now, they make it big like that because it can fit even the larger figures. So even Mr. Incredible can fit in here. And he actually looks great, I think, driving around in there. A little big, but I think it works. So I think that's cool. I really appreciate that all the figures can fit inside there. If we come here to the side of the boat, this section opens up. And you can see there's kind of a tiny track for the wheels. So you just go ahead and pop him right on there. And you can kind of, I guess, there's not really like a logical stopping. Well, I guess there kind of is, but it seems to want to. There's kind of like little tracks, and we'll see it better when we get to the other side. But actually, I guess I could just do it now. We'll spin this around. And on the other side of the boat, this whole side can open up to give you a lot of nice access in here. You can see there's a lot of room for storage over here. This we'll get into in a moment. So you just go ahead and you sit him on there just like that. And then you can close this back up and spin it back around. And now it says launcher. I don't really see how it launches, but you can open this and it'll certainly, you know, come out from there and deploy, which I like. But it's not like this, there's no ramp. This doesn't like kick up and slides out or anything like that. So I'm not really sure what makes it launch. It can obviously, you know, it stores there and it can pop out, which I think is cool. I don't really see how it launches though. Just, that's me. On the back here, you have a little rudder. Doesn't do a whole lot, but it can go side to side. I'm going to take this back out for a moment so we can take a look at the bottom of the boat. And you can see it has these 4 wheels, and they have some nice grip to them, actually. I don't think they're rubber, but they actually have some grip, which is kind of nice. So it's got these 4 wheels. It rolls very well, as you can see. Pretty neat there. I like that. Coming around to the front, this opens on both sides, and then this little ramp comes out. And you can see it goes all the way inside there. And I'm assuming this is for Frozone. Now, Frozone is not included. You have to get him from the 2-packs. But I'm guessing he can freeze himself a little ramp and then, you know, shoot out, slide down the bottom, something like that, or just have him hang out there. I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's, again, a scene from the movie they're reenacting and we just haven't seen it yet. This is unfortunately not wide enough for this to come down. Not that it makes sense for it to, but I think this is really for Frozone because his powers are very similar to like Iceman from the X-Men. So Iceman, like, he can form ice in front of him to slide on, and that's kind of what we see Frozone do in the movie as well. So I think that's what's going to be happening with this as well. So you can just fold this up, fold it back up, and then close this like that. So that's pretty much it for features on this first floor. You have the wheels, you have the deployable watercraft, and you have that ice ramp in the front, and then you have a lot of nice storage on the back here, but we'll see more about that in a minute. Alright, so taking a look at the kind of mid-level area of the boat. On the back here you have this big green railing, and you have this giant arm that comes out, and it has a bend here, and then it extends, and it can also rotate once it's extended. I'm not really sure what's going on with this. I don't know if this is supposed to be like Elastigirl's arm, you know, elongating because she has stretching powers and grabbing onto something. Again, I'm assuming it's a scene from the movie that they're reenacting here and we just haven't seen it yet. That's my guess. But it can kind of grab onto characters. Something like that. Go ahead and grab them. Again, I don't I don't really know why we have this giant arm, but I'm guessing once we see the movie it'll make sense. But for now, there's just a large arm feature, and basically there's a ball joint where it connects here in the boat, so you can spin this all the way around, move it up and down, a little bit of side to side as well. And then, like I said, this extends here, and it can also spin around, and then you have this joint which can bend both ways. The wrist doesn't move, but I feel like you don't really need it to since you can spin it over here. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. It's a little strange. If we come around here, you can see that there's a gray part. This is actually a trap door, which leads down into that area I talked about it a minute ago where I said there's lots of nice storage space in there. That is so you can fall down the trap door. So if she falls down there, woo, she's down. And then you can come around and then open this back up like we saw earlier and retrieve whatever falls down there and then push this back up until it clicks into place. and then close this back up. So I think that's cool. The other thing you can do is this whole section here lifts up, and I think the reason for that is just to give you more access to this second deck. You have this weird thing here, and I'm really not quite sure. At first I thought maybe it was a periscope or something. It says, and it looks like there's like a monitor here with some controls. But then on the back of the packaging, it says rotating cooling chamber. So again, not really sure, but you can open this, and this is on a hinge, and you could take a figure, say like Frozone, for example, and then close it back up on him. So I don't know, maybe at some point they need to capture Frozone and use his power, and that's why it has the ice slide in the front. I'm not really sure. But certain figures can fit in here. Bigger figures like Mr. Incredible unfortunately cannot fit. I've tried him and he is unfortunately too large. I mean, he can kind of like sit there, but then when you try to close it, I mean, if you like move his arm out, he just can't keep his arm inside. And I feel like if you're chaining him to this, you'd want both his arms to be subdued or restricted. But again, because it lines up, it looks like one of those giant viewfinders you see like at the Statue of Liberty. Put the quarter in and look through it. I don't know. So I don't know what that does. It's neat. I kind of just want to like to use it as like a little jail cell or something. But again, once the movie comes out, maybe we'll find out more. And I also kind of like to collapse the arm and just kind of store it like this. I feel like that just kind of works. So again, you have this area. You have a ton of controls up here where the wheel is. If you can see down in there. And then you can just take a character and have them take control of the wheel. Unfortunately, I kind of wish there was like a little peg on the floor so you could peg the character in there. But it would be really difficult to get them in there anyway. So I feel like you just take a figure and just kind of stand him up there and, you know, hope he stays. I guess you can see I can kind of get his hand on the wheel like that. So that kind of works, actually. That's cool. So that's pretty much it for the second floor. You have the large control area, which you can access better by opening this. You have this spinning piece. You have the trapdoor and the large arm, which again, I'm still not really sure what that's about, but I hope we'll find out more once the movie comes out. So lastly, we have the super top area, which is very kind of bare. There's not a ton going on here, but I still like it. You can see these 4 pegs here, and that is to mount the life preserver. So there you go. That is so you can store that there and deploy it when need be. I appreciate that. I was wondering why this was open on the back, and I appreciate the fact that it's so it can mount on the back there, and I think it looks good there. I like it there a lot. And then the rest of this is just a little launcher. So you bring in the missiles we looked at earlier, and this can spin completely 360, as well as move up and down. Hit the little red button right here, and it fires pretty well. And you can get a character, and you can put these controls in his arms pretty easily. So I think this looks cool. I think it's fairly simple, but I think it works. I think it looks good. And, you know, he can definitely turn from side to side with the gun. And obviously it can spin all the way around, but it's easier to have it, you know, there's room here for the character to stand. But yeah, I think it's cool. I like having the launcher there. I like that a lot. I think this boat's a lot of fun. It's fun to store a bunch of characters. You can have them all over the boat. I think that's kind of neat. I like the fact that it has a lot of play features. The rolling wheels are all right. But I understand because, you know, most people, it's not really meant to be taken in like a pool of water, so they put the wheels on there. And you really could even have like a figure kind of sit on the wheel or hang out on the wheel there. So I think that's kind of neat. I appreciate all the features that it has. I don't understand all of them. The hand on the back is kind of weird. I like the watercraft. I like the ice ramp. I like the missile launcher on the top. I think there's a lot of fun features going on. I definitely enjoy it. I think it's a fun little boat. And like I said, if you have, let me just grab, find a play school figure, easily around the same size, so it can totally interact on the boat. And then I have an Imaginext figure as well, can also hang out on the boat. So it's compatible with all these other kinds of figures as well because they're all pretty much the same size. So that's awesome. A lot of playability. Definitely get your Imaginext Play School figures, go out for a party cruise. I think there's a lot of fun to be had with this one. Especially now you can go ahead and grab it at Toys R Us for about 40% off. So that's almost half. So you could grab this bad boy for almost 20 bucks, about 24 bucks right now. I definitely think there's fun to be had with it. Like I said, I don't understand all of the play features yet, but I enjoy them. And I think once the movie comes out, it'll make a lot more sense. And I think this will be definitely one that you're going to wish you picked up. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like and share the video, and please subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this look at the Hydroliner playset from Disney Pixar Incredibles 2 Junior Supers line from Jakks Pacific. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.